Alright guys, hello and welcome to the video. So we're going to be talking about Prokhorovka game mechanics in this video. It's going to be very long because every time that I do a full Prokhorovka replay, I pause a lot. I like to explain things to you guys. And so that's what we're going to be talking about. I've tried to cut down the videos, but then you get other people that are like, dude, we want to see the whole game, show us the whole game. And then you get some people like, dude, this is just too long, I can't watch it. So it's like you got to pick one or the other, right? So I'm going to show you guys this whole game. Again, we're on Prokhorovka, we're in the Hawk 30, we have an LT-432 on our team. This is an 8-9 game, tier 8 and 9. And Prokhorovka is the map. Like this video might get a few more views than most of my videos because Prokhorovka is the map that basically makes or breaks your light tank experience, right? That's the way I say it, because it really is the case. Like, everyone wants to know how to spot on Prokhorovka because this is one of the only maps in the game where light tanks are absolutely vital, right? And so our LT-432 is going to, he's also a Baboon too, by the way. He's going to counter the EVA 90 and the LTTB here. I let him do so, and I come up, make some active runs. Maybe Artie can get a shot. We do have one Artie. Maybe they can get a shot at some of these heavies or something, and I'm just trying to counter the EVA 90. Now, I want to pause and show you guys this, right? Where the LT-432, our LT-432 moved up to, I wouldn't have done this. This is a very good spot right here, I feel, to just kind of hang out, because the south doesn't really have the equivalent, right? It's not like the bushes are thick over here, so you end up having to go like where the LTTB went, up here. The LT-432 is in a good spot to counter here because you can move around in the bushes and get yourself slightly different angles. If you understand how the game mechanics work, you know, if the bush is see-through, then obviously your view range can go through the bush. When it's not see-through, your view range is not really going through that bush. Now CVS, Commander's Vision System, kind of changes things. I do run it in the scouting slot. If you guys don't know what this piece of equipment is, the Commander's Vision System down here, you need to go check it out. You need to Google this and figure out what it does, right? Because it's very vital. It basically reduces enemy tanks' concealment while they're behind foliage and when they're on the move. So behind foliage and on the move, you're going to get more spots than you would if you weren't running it, right? So I say, good job, LT. He's doing a great job. He's countering. I just think this was a little too aggressive for him because what ends up happening is their EVA 90 comes up like this, relights him, right? And now they're proxying each other. LT-432 is going to be able to kind of counter this, but he's going to get whacked by someone in the back for 522. So this is why I don't recommend being aggressive at the beginning of the game. Though the LT-432 did a very good job here in countering the EVA 90, also countering the LTTB. I take a shot from the E5. I'm trying to clean up the EVA 90. Centurion on our team ends up cleaning him up anyway, and now I'm going to try and get involved because the EVA 90 has been eliminated. The LT has done a good job. Our team has done a good job in countering him and eliminating him from the game, and now I would like to get into the E1 bush line so I can get a good view of people in the back, right? This is a very good spot to do that, so that's what I'm going to do. They have the E5 here. I'm sure that my concealment is enough. At about 42% is what I have on this vehicle, running bounty vents, bounty optics, bounty low noise exhaust, and the CVS and the scouting slot. Now, I get to here. One thing I also want to note is I don't run optics on this thing because the Hawk 30 with my crew and just the way the tank is, I have like 477 view range with this setup. So I actually run the bounty vents because I think it's enough, right? So E5 does not have the view range to reduce my concealment enough where he'll spot me here. LTTB was way in the back. In fact, he might have buggered off by now, and these people are in the back. So our 752 is going to push into the dip. I'm hanging out here, right? Our 752 in a couple minutes gets in the chat and gets very impatient, and he says, LT, do something. And I sit here for a good amount of time. So I'm actually just going to fast forward. I'll show you guys me sitting here, and you can see what I spot in 4 times. We're just going to go through this because I kind of want to get to the end of this game where I will show you where I made a big mistake, right? Though we were still able to win this game, it was a big mistake. So the Scorpions aren't my spot. 752 was able to do that, but we were able to spot the KPZ and someone else back here and get some good the S1. We're able to get decent assist damage, right? With 1,000 on the S1, so that's perfect. And we're at 3K spotting, and we get a little bit more later on as well. Now, something I want to note here, I'm going to slow it back down to 1 times for probably the rest of this game. Notice how these guys are in the mid, right? Because what I sometimes like to do is come up and over like this and get into these bushes right here, or rather it's these bushes right here. And you can spot this without even having to risk going down the bush line like this. The problem is they have a lot of people in the mid. Look at all their heavies and stuff like that. In fact, the E5 is a heavy. I thought it was a medium. I was thinking of like the E4, right? But they have like 5 heavies in the middle of the map, so that's not going to work, obviously, right? And 752, you can see, is kind of like, bro, like run down the middle, run down the middle of the bush line. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that yet, man. I'm being patient because I'm assuming the LTTB is in this area. And when you run down the bush line, especially with a tank as fat and as tall as the Hawk 30 and go like this, the LTTB is easily going to spot me here. Easily spot me, and then everyone in the back is going to have shots, right? So it gets to a point where you will see, I said, don't go to where you went next time if you don't want to be there. And I said, I didn't ask you to help me, man. Like, respectfully, I'm saying this. I didn't ask you to run out there and risk yourself for me. Stay alive. Like, just stay alive, man. Be patient. There's freaking 9 minutes on the clock. Be patient, man. And this is the way I play. Now, I would like to emphasize, and I do this in all of my videos, I am not a unicum, and I'm okay with claiming that I made a mistake somewhere or I just didn't know exactly what to do. There are probably people that watch this video that are commenting like, oh, Whirls, just run down the bush line, just do this, just do that. I've done this many, many, many times. And almost every time I run down the bush line like this in a tank like the Hawk 30, I get lit, man. I get lit because you have someone up here, or you just have people that are sitting back in this area and they're able to light you, or people in the middle light you. So I'm going to show you a mistake I made as I'm advancing here, right? And pause for one more second. Why did I start moving right now? Well, look where the LTTB is on the map. He's all the way over here. So I know that the LTTB is no longer sitting here in this bush. I'm going to assume that no one else is sitting there just based on what they have here. They did have a 103 that was unspotted at the time. I don't think the AMX AC would be up there. I don't think the Patton would be up there, but it's possible the 103 could have been up here in this bush. He's not, luckily, and I get aggressive here and I make this play to try and spot the rest of these guys back here. Now, notice how there's gaps in the bush line on the south side of this map. On the north, it's not really the case, but look at these gaps, right? If this E5 was poking right here, I would have easily been spotted through that. Like, look at that, man. You guys are seeing what I'm seeing here? Easily, I would have been spotted through this little gap right here. So this is why you have to be so careful and you have to try and stay low, right? But you don't want to be out so far, like all the way out here. Like, that's not going to help because then the people are going to spot you from in this area, right? So the way you approach this, you have to be very careful with it. And I just was not careful enough. And you're going to see that in a couple of seconds here. So again, I apologize for pausing, guys, but I have to explain these things. I have to explain the bush mechanics and game mechanics and stuff like that and point out all these gaps and point out all this stuff for people that might not be aware of it. So if you're one of those really, really good players, this video probably isn't for you, right? This is more for the average player base and for my fan base, if you want to call them that, right? And here's where we make the mistake. So I'm going to pause here one more time. Look at this. The view range of the AMX AC 48 is going to go right through that bush, obviously, that he's in, and he's going to light me here, right? So this is a mistake that I make, and the reason why I went out and around like this is because the way these bushes are like this, right? See how these bushes are kind of low? I'm afraid that if I come up like this, that I'm going to get spotted through these bushes as I come through like this by someone like the E5. The E5 is only 297 meters away from me, right? And so it just depends on this guy's view range. Now, I have 42% concealment, but you never know. I am not comfortable at 300-ish meters. If I'm in the T100 LT or something that I know has really good camo, I would probably make that play. But you never know. Like, this guy is poking up. See how he's poking up? You can see that if I went like this, his view range would be going like this. And it could go over those bushes as I'm coming through like this. And I want to draw all this out so you guys can see this and understand why I didn't run straight through the bush line like that. If I did, then it's likely the AMX AC48, we would have probably outspotted him because we're running CVS. We could have gotten like right here. And again, I know there's going to be comments like, oh, Whirls, yeah, you could have just went like this. You would have been fine. And maybe not, guys. And that's the thing that people have to understand about playing a light tank is it's not automatic. Once the light tank goes down on the enemy side, it's not automatic. You can't just run your light tank all the way to the freaking K line, right, and expect not to get spotted. You still have to be really careful with this. The AMX AC was here. We got right here. We couldn't spot him because there was bushes in the way, and like he's literally like 150 meters away, right? And when I come out, now we spot each other. So I just have to emphasize these things to you guys in this video. Like, it's not automatic. You have to be really careful. And I don't like it when people are always telling me every game, like, dude, use the bush line, run down the bush line. Like, there's a lot of factors that go into this, whether, if you are going to be spotted or not, right? Whether you're going to be spotted or not. And if like the E5 has optics or something, because a lot of people run optics on this map, I'm screwed, man. If I try and run like this, because again, his view range is going to go like that. So I have to draw these things out, and I know I'm pausing, guys, but I want this to make sense to people that are wondering, why I make the plays that I make, right? And why I drive down a little bit here to try and stay low. But once I'm lit here, it's game over, man. AMX AC hits me, Skoda hits me, everyone has shots at me, and I end up going down here. Could I have tried to run away? Maybe. Could have tried to run away. I could have tried to just like come out and maybe try and spot these guys in the back or whatever. Someone else will probably say, well, why did you even stop here? Why didn't you just keep going full speed and you would have been able to spot people? Because then you're going to get spotted, right? For sure. You want to try and do it without getting spotted. And if you do that, then people are going to start flinging, rounds at you as well, right? So, again, guys, people can say what they want. I'm not a Unicum player. This is how I played it. This is the mistake I made. I'm pointing it out for you. I'm showing you where these gaps in the bushes are. I'm emphasizing to you guys to be careful in your light tanks, especially if you're playing a gigantic tank like the Hawk 30, right? Because this thing is so tall and so long and so fat that it just sticks out everywhere. It's not the EVA 90, it's not the Batchat. Like, you got to be very careful with this vehicle. It's very possible you will get spotted, right? So, if you play this in something like the EBR 105, it'd probably be a little bit different, because then you can actually make more active runs, right? And you can run through like this and like turn really quick and try and avoid shots if you wanted to YOLO in like that. But anyway, I hope all this makes sense to you guys. We did get 4,500 spotting out of this. We won the game, right? We still won the game. We were able to win this one. But I just want to show you guys all of this game mechanics stuff, right? Go back and rewatch it again. Understand why I make the plays I make. Understand why I emphasize certain things, man. And just understand it's never automatic, guys. Be careful. Keep the bushes in front of you. If you don't fully understand the game mechanics and you're trying to play light tanks, you definitely want to Google how the game mechanics work, and you will find better videos describing it, in better ways than I ever could, right? By people like Ayux, and I always use him as an example because he's very good, and he's in my, tankers that I've learned from section at the bottom of my homepage, my channel homepage, if you guys want to check out his content. He obviously has way more subscribers than me. He rated me like 3 times when I did do Twitch. I don't do Twitch anymore. But anyway, if this was helpful to you guys, again, because I just mentioned Twitch, I don't do Twitch anymore. If you guys would like to become a member of the channel and just get the little emojis or whatever for $2 a month, go for it. If you'd like to leave me a donation, go for it. I'm not doing this for money, guys. I have a full-time job, but anything helps me, right? Like, it'd be really, really nice if I can buy groceries for free, basically, from YouTube payments, right? One time a month or whatever the heck it is, because there's no money in this, but it would be nice. Like, I'm never going to turn it down, guys. But again, I don't do Twitch, so if you would sub on Twitch or donate, you can instead do it here if you want to, right? If you feel so kind to do so. But again, you don't have to. I just give you guys all this information for free. I give it to you all for free because I want you guys to enjoy playing your light tanks and not be bothered when people are in the chat trying to tell you what to do, because I hate that, right, man? It doesn't bother me like it used to, because I know that I'm decent enough to understand like what I need to do without people typing in the chat, right? But I do like to leave the chat on because occasionally it is helpful. I hope all this helps you out. Again, rewatch it, guys. Understand what's going on here. I just kind of want to talk while this game ends so you can kind of see what happened here. The rest of the game, obviously, we pushed over to this side of the map, and that's it. Again, any questions? Comment down below, guys. Any advice? Whirls, you could have done this, you could have done that. Comment it below. It's all fine with me. I want to show you guys everything I can. And that's all. Hope you enjoyed this one. Catch you for the next one, and bye-bye.